My friend, Sunday, the big race. These guys are ready. How are you feeling? You got to be excited like everybody else.
I am. We cap off the weekend with the NTT IndyCar Series, and have that compete on Sunday is obviously a great way to complete the Honda Toronto. Obviously, it's been a great weekend thus far, but the NTT IndyCar Series is one of the most competitive series in the IndyCar and the motorsport world, so we're very excited to have them compete on the streets of Toronto.
Can you describe the track, please? I know it's been a couple of years, and I've been lucky enough to be in the pace car, so I know what it feels like, but what is this track like?
The track has a lot going on behind us. It is the roads you and I drive. So, it is asphalt, it is concrete, it has some different characteristics as you zoom down Lakeshore to go through turn 3. You got to be a very good athlete to compete on these streets. It takes a lot for the driver to navigate them, and anyone can win on the day. So it's going to be a very interesting finish to the race.
We are talking about Canada here. We're talking Toronto. The weather can change anyway, and we've talked about this many times. When that track gets wet, it's slippery. What do you think the drivers have to compete with if that happens?
Well, the elements come into play, and they have a new car since they were last year and competing on the rain. A lot of these drivers that are in the field have not already competed on the streets. It's been a couple years, and since then they've added an aero screen to the car. So it adds to the dynamic and the competition if something were to happen from a weather standpoint, and it just makes it more competitive. We've seen races go this year where they've started in rain, become a sunny race, started on sun, go to rain. It just adds a lot more element to the event.
What corner should we be looking at? Because somebody's going to be looking to take over somebody else in the race.
Turn 3 is probably the most historic turn for this track. Right behind us in turn 1, obviously it's very iconic with the Princess Gates. As the cars zoom down the straightaway for the start of the race, this is what you see. But it's really once they get to turn 3, a lot of the action and the fun starts happening.
We want to look out for our Canadians. Who are some other Canadians going to be involved?
Yeah, so we have Devlin DeFrancesco and Dalton Kellett, both two great Canadians, both from Ontario. If you think from Dalton's standpoint, he competed in the IndyCar Series once the pandemic started, so he's not had a chance to race here, and he's been competing a couple of years. So I can only imagine the excitement both of those drivers have as they conquer the streets of Toronto.
But I still can't believe Paul Tracy, the only Canadian ever to win this?
Yeah, twice, and it's been almost 20 years since we had a Canadian. So, who knows maybe what will happen here with two Canadians in the field, but it's going to be a very competitive race overall.
We were talking before, and I was going to ask you, who do you think is going to be, up there? You're like, oh, you can't do that to me, But who so far in the circuit is looking hot right now?
I think you've obviously had a very strong and competitive field. So you have Joseph Newgarden, Marcus Ericsson, you have Jimmy Johnson competing in the lineup, you have Roman Grosjean. It is from top to finish some of the best drivers and athletes you'll see in the world. So anyone can win, and it'll be exciting who that person is.
Cannot wait, my friend. Thank you so much for the interview, but more importantly, thank you for bringing this back to Toronto.
Yeah, we're excited back to be here.